All right, if I can have everyone's attention, we will continue our morning availability here at Michigan International Speedway. We now welcome Kasey Kahne, driver of the number 5 Farmers Insurance Chevrolet, currently 11th in points with 2 wins this season. Kasey, obviously wild card is the main topic right now at this point in the season. We're still a couple of races out from Richmond, but just talk about where you sit right now and how you feel coming into Michigan this weekend.
Yeah, we sit in a pretty good spot for where we've been this season, and it's definitely going to go all the way to Richmond, I would say, as far as who's going to be the wild card. But right now I feel pretty good about where we're at. If we can just keep running well, we got through last weekend's race without too big of a loss in points or anything like that. We battled a lot last week with some things thrown at us, and we're able to still run 13th, and we're up to 11th there on the final lap. So I think we're doing pretty well. That was my toughest track, and I enjoy Michigan. I'm glad we're back here, and we did the tire test here 3 weeks ago, and felt like that tire was an improvement from what we had the first race. And I think the track will keep improving also with just the kind of the wear and tear of the summer and the rubber on the racetrack. So it's a weekend that I've been looking forward to. Hopefully we can run really well.
Okay, we'll open it up for questions for Kasey. Please raise your hand. We'll get a wireless mic to you. Please state your name and affiliation. We'll start right here in the middle with Mike.
Mike Hembry, Speed.com. Kasey, what's your educated guess as to how the speeds might be different from June this weekend?
Well, I think when we first get out there, well, the trucks have already went this morning, so there'll be a little bit of rubber. We'll keep putting rubber down, and I think the track will keep getting faster throughout first practice. I don't see qualifying being as fast as what it was the first race, but it's hard to say. I would say the track should be a little bit slower, but the tires are a touch better too. So I would say the qualifying will be slower for sure, and then the race speeds will slow down once we get racing. And hopefully the biggest thing to me is just being able to move around. That first race, it was about 1.5 lanes, and that you could really get in and push your car and not have it jump into the gray or anything like that. So hopefully this race will get at least 2 lanes, maybe even 3 as time goes on.
Okay, we'll take our next question in the back from Marty, then come back up to Terry.
Marty Smith, ESPN. Kasey, from your perspective, being in meetings with Dale and whatnot, what impact did you see that victory here he had last time we were here? What impact did that have on him? How did that maybe change him from what you saw before that?
Well, to me, Dale's been really focused and really into everything that I've been part of this season with him, from our debriefs to our, when we have a commitment or something we're doing together, and he's into the racing thing as much as I've seen him. And I haven't been really close with Dale over the years, but I've known him and been friends with him, and I think he's as passionate and into the racing as I've seen him right now. So that's good to see. After he won, to me, I just saw like he was just smiling a lot more. He was excited. He was happy about what happened and happy that they finished the deal and were the dominant car that day. I mean, nobody was even close to him. So I think that gave him a lot of confidence, him and his team, and they felt really good about it. And so I'd say he was just a little bit happier, back to winning. It had been a little while, so he felt good about it. And all of us, all of our guys were excited for him too. He was at the shop. We were all kind of hanging out and laughing and having fun with him. So he was it was just a confidence builder, is what I would say.
Okay, we'll take the next 2 up front. We'll go to Terry, then over to Monty, then Nate.
Terry Blount, ESPN.com. Following up with that a little bit, Kasey, if you make the chase and it looks like you're in a good position to do so, do you consider, your 2 teammates 2 of your biggest threats to win the title? And, people ask this all the time now about Junior. Okay, he won again, but can he be a legitimate title contender? What's your opinion on that?
Yeah, I think, and even if Jeff makes it and myself, it'll be tough for all 4 of us to make it, but we definitely all 4 can. Just see how these final 4 play out. But I think any one of those teams can be really strong in the chase and show a lot of consistency and also be there to win races. And I think you'll need to do both of those things if you want to win a championship from what we've seen in the past. But I would say Dale, as consistent as those guys have been this year, as confident and and as well as they're working with the 48. I think the 48 and the 88 work really well together. So between those groups, I could see the 88 running strong throughout the whole chase and having an opportunity to win it. And all the Hendrick cars, I think, can be in that scenario if things go the way that we're all shooting for.
Okay, we'll take our next question from Monty, then come over to Nate.
Monty Dutton, Gaston Gazette. Kasey, obviously you still have Kenny, all that, but I mean, I just wondered fundamentally, what changes about your day-to-day life? What's the difference in previously and with Hendrick? You done more meetings, or you're at the shop more? I mean, what about your life, about the amount of time you spend with the team, etc. What is different with this ride, personally, than previous ones?
I think personally, there's not a ton that's different. I feel like you're held to a little higher standard over there at times with certain situations we may be involved in, or our meetings. Those are mandatory, and in the past they haven't been mandatory for me. So, to know this is what you're doing on this day, throughout the entire season. There's a few things there that are definitely mandatory, and definitely you know what's going on. But other than that, I would say the day-to-day sponsor commitments, just how I'm into the racing side of things, how I'm into my team, what I do away from the track when I don't have to do the racing stuff, I would say it's pretty similar to how it's been in the past.
Okay, go ahead with your question, Nate.
Nate Ryan, USA Today. Kasey, NASCAR's not like other sports, and when a team makes the playoffs, they can't rest players. But it would seem, and I've heard other people say this, that you could maybe set aside parts or cars. And now that you guys are kind of safely locked in, are you doing, or not totally safely locked in, but it's looking good. I mean, it'll be hard to fall out at this point with 4 to go. Can you put aside cars or maybe just focus a little bit more on the final 10 versus the next 4?
Well, myself, I don't feel like I'm locked in. I don't feel like I'm really even that close to being locked in because of how quickly things can change in the sport. And, 2 guys get on a roll and we fall off. I mean, we could be third, no problem, pretty quick. So there's a lot of scenarios that could keep us out of the wild card. So I don't really feel like we're there. But the thing to me, even if we were there, is I feel like these Final Four is a good time for us just to keep. Since the start of the season, I feel like every 3-4 weeks we make a gain together as a team, and these final 3 or 4 races is another opportunity for us to get better together. And if we can do that, hopefully we'll be in a great spot when those final 10 start and be able to battle. And I don't know if we're there yet, so I really feel like we need to bring our best stuff all the way through Bristol, Atlanta, and Richmond. Some of my favorite tracks where we can build some confidence and some momentum, and just start off those final 10 with a better, I think, game plan and more momentum to go.
Is it a little bit of a balancing act, though, because you want to leave some room for a little bit more of an improvement, that improvement you keep talking about for the final 10, and you want to leave an ability to peak a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen that in the past with certain teams, and how they've done that, and it's worked out really well for them. But I don't think we're there yet. I feel like we're still so new together, a lot of our guys, and myself being at HMS. I don't feel like we have any time to not put our best stuff on the racetrack and just go from there. And if that doesn't work, then it doesn't work. But I feel like we need to keep bringing it every week.